Welcome aboard everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. Today we are looking at EWT and POWR, POWR ledger and the EWT energy web token. We combine these two simply because they're quite similar projects. We do tend to do EWT videos on their own, but I wanted to conclude a couple of ideologies around these projects and also bring to the table the couple of different organizations that these guys are involved with and why it's important, as well as interlacing it with information, of course, that we have seen, particularly here in the UK, over the last few days about the energy topic and especially in the fuel shortage, supposed fuel shortage. Guys, Power Ledger, we have done an intro video to these guys as with EWT as well, so go check those out. I'll try and leave links at the end. But this is very much around the tokenomics of energy. Okay, it reminds me back when I was at uni, there was a big hoo-ha around carbon stocks. Okay, people trading carbon stocks. A lot of it was pulled out. A lot of people went to prison for it and things like that, under the table kind of deals and whatnot. But it seems like it's come back round again, but in more of a format of crypto. This is allowing basically the utilization of energy to be transferred across in a decentralized manner. So for example, if I have a specific amount of tokens for energy that I utilize to pay for energy consumption or the grid, and I don't use my allocation, I can sell that onto the ledger, as it were, in terms of blockchain, give it to a neighbor, a friend, or someone else and get paid for that to help me towards other bills and things like that as well. So there's loads of aspects of this, but it goes deeper than that. As we go into more electric cars and things like that, it's going to be in a similar situation. If you're not using the full battery capacity of your car, you can pass it on. And it's the same as well, even with blockchain right now, you have the ability to utilize your GPU or CPU on your laptop or PC. And if you're not using a lot of it or all of it, you can put it onto blockchain and someone else can use that power and you get rewarded for that as well. So it's all these kind of really interesting aspects of how energy is going to transfer into these kind of like ledger systems, blockchain systems. And these two I picked out originally because they're very much integrated into blockchain for many years. In fact, I believe I read somewhere the other day, Energy Web Token itself, EWT, their blockchain is even older than Ethereum. So you have to ask yourself, well, how come they're not as well known as Ethereum? And maybe that's one of the key aspects we can pull out here, in the sense that follow the money. Where's all the topics going in Agenda 30 and everything like this right now with the World Economic Forum? It's all around energy and climate. And of course, digital currency is one of those big things, but you have to be green to survive. We'll go into that in a second, but I think it's fantastic. Go check out the Power Ledger website. Really good information on there. We'll check our intro video as well, of course. But the whole emphasis is around clean energy, renewable energy, and providing that to blockchain as well. So you could actually imagine that, albeit this is around energy consumption and everything like that firsthand, it could also potentially be a blockchain that other projects jump onto because of its power in that aspect. Excuse the pun. So very interesting stuff. These guys are also part of this BCI, Blockchain and Climate Institute. So it's a very interesting organization around trying to achieve a global standardization and importance around blockchain and crypto, that they are very much in the green aspect of what they're doing in the world. Now, this is found quite interesting. Of course, we talk about the Internet of Things and AI a lot in our project videos, and especially the actual AI and IoT projects like IoTX. We talk about IOTA, we talk about Fetch, Matrix AI videos coming this week as well. So it's all interlaced. We've got a couple of videos like thought process videos, if you like, coming this week about the whole accumulation, especially in the UK, about our food shortages, our fuel shortages, supposedly, the agricultural bills not being sort of public-eyed, and the integration with AI and IoT and climate and energy and everything like this all accumulates to this. It's almost like, these things are put in place, a circus, if you like, a media circus to encourage more economy aspects of new businesses coming to places like the UK to build their new infrastructures of battery solutions and this, that and the other, as well as many other things. I'm just picking out one item here because we're talking about energy in particular. And it's all going to be interlaced through blockchain, especially energy. I truly believe you're seeing the monopolization now in the UK being pretty much ripped apart of the whole independent market in high streets, long gone in my opinion, but even the energy sector is now on this pathway to just having private companies owning everything. And once you've got that domination control, it's more important than ever to have a decentralized aspect to this world, to fight it or integrate it to the sense that it becomes more appropriate for everyone. That's where we are right now. We're in a human to machine learning narrative at this stage. And over the years, maybe in 10 years time, machine to machine learning will be even more applicable. And that's what we're leaning towards. So the energy sector is really important. It's a massive sector. Energy web tokens, as I said, we cover quite a bit as well. They're very heavily involved in many partners already, including the likes of Shell, as an example. But what I found really interesting, and do go check out this video, it's very, very cool to watch, just around the top part of this here. You can watch the YouTube video around this CCA incubator. So it was bringing actually Ripple and EWT and a couple of other projects as well into the light, into one unique kind of virtual roundtable. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant to watch what I have watched so far. And I do need to watch the rest of it, of course. But it's all around this crypto climate accord. Again, another institution kind of like the BCI, but again, focusing on blockchain becoming green, getting it to 100% renewable energy focus. Okay, Ripple on here, Gryphon mining. Okay, trying to make sure that the mining aspect of what we're doing in crypto adheres to this target. And their achievement, I believe, by the year 2030 or something, is that they want everyone who's signed up to their program to be 100% renewable or accessing 100% renewable aspects. Do check this YouTube video out. It's really interesting. It's great thoughts and ideas being ploughed into this video from a multitude of people. And I absolutely enjoyed what I watched so far. So do keep an eye on that for sure. And it's definitely worth watching. And also, the people involved in it, really, really interesting people. So I really enjoyed what I watched thus far of it. So these real projects, these two kind of energy projects, if you think about how big the energy market is, but also apply the methodology of how is tokenomics going to help the world in energy and where is energy going? All these stories that you see in the news, I'm not even joking, they are moving mountains for this great reset, the Build Back Better campaigns around the world. Okay, this isn't new. These URLs for both these campaigns have been around for years. They planned it for a long time, probably since 2016, I would imagine, when the Agenda 30 program was signed by over 150 countries worldwide. It's all part of the plan. We're not going into theories right here. It's more about trying to emphasize these sectors and the projects within them. Let's take a look at the charts. If you find this informative, please do press that thumb button and subscribe to the channel if you're new or you have not pressed that button yet at all. Shame on you. Join us. We're nearly on 2,000. Looking forward to it. So let's first of all take a look at EWT, and I'm also, while that's loading up, going to get the POWR one organized as well. But let's look at EWT first. We hit our buy box around here, which I'm really pleased at because I do like accumulating EWT, especially in periods where it does have some slight drops. We had focused this funnel downwards into this fan to suggest that we were probably coming into this area, and we pretty much did that. And we're now stabilizing here, guys, around this mark of around $8.85. I would say $8.90 to be fair. Today, as of recording, we're tracking at $9, but we've been floating around this area for 3 or 4 or 5 days now, including today's, which we haven't finished. Okay, so there's not a massive amount of volume in here. So in my opinion, this is really almost on a switchover perspective. And I do think the narratives that we're seeing in the news worldwide about climate and everything like this will really push this kind of project into October and November. gas prices, a big conversation about narratives around electrical and gas prices across the world, let alone the UK. Trust me. And then the more people that think about it, especially from an investor's perspective, a real investor will be sitting there going, what's the problem? What's the solution? These are solutions, not necessarily for tomorrow, but they certainly are for years to come. There are trials going on with Energy Web, with Power Ledger in Australia. And they're going very well from what I've gathered and read about. Take advantage of this situation. As bad as that might sound, you've got to prepare yourself, right? So the MACD is showing positivity here. It's narrowing. The histogram here has gone to a very nice ending wave here, suggesting that the selling volume is reducing as well. The RSI is very nice and juicy in the sense that if I was new to EWT, again, this is not financial advice, but it's, in my opinion, a very good buying opportunity. You could anticipate a potential slight drop down again before a big uptake to around that $7 mark. But we'll have to see, because we did have very good progression here from that 20th of July aspect. I think we had a close at $4.56. Since then to the 22nd of August, we have gone up to the dizzy heights of around $14. Okay, we are not near yet the all-time high or the previous all-time of $23.53. I think that's roughly around where it was. So we've got a bit of time to go for this. We're halfway there, but I really like this take up here. We've had some nice corrections, good opportunities for buying in, and it just feels like we're getting to a point where we've seen a slight rise here. I do anticipate maybe a potential dip to this level and a jump up. We'll have to see. So what I will do actually, just to define that area that I'm talking about, we're just going to put an area just around maybe this 776 area towards down maybe 690 or so, just in case. Let's see what happens there. That is a potential opportunity. But I wouldn't be angry if I was new to EWT to get them now. We've got an aspiration of hitting that $23 as a minimum in this upcoming run towards the end of the year, and beyond that. And it's again such an early project in the sense that it looks expensive on paper, for your money's worth, but you've got to anticipate the growth opportunity, not just right now and the next few months, but what's going to happen in the near future. There's no doubt in my mind these things are going to take the energy sector by storm, 100%. So that's where I see EWT, the two possibilities are coming potentially down here, but I do like this momentum of getting this support line ticked off and moving up to these next levels. Say $11 is a key aspect of where we might see some resistance, 11.49ish, to the next point of 13.77. So very much, I think, 11.5 cents and the $11.5 and the $14 marks are going to be key resistance levels before we start pushing ourselves up to that all-time high aspect. Now, I could see us doing that maybe in the latter stage of October and into November for sure, and then it's price discovery mode from there, right? So the RSA is looking healthy, in my opinion, a good buy opportunity. Again, not financial advice, but I like this MACD. If we can get that switch over in the next couple of days, we can start pushing up for sure. But what we do need is another close, as we are right now, above this mark of, say, around 896. If we can do that, we now need to start seeing volumes pumping in. This is now a testing area, in my opinion. We have to be patient to see the movement, but play it now is all I will say. Let's take a look at the power chart, hopefully. I don't even know with this laptop anymore. So here we are. I've overlapped a fib retracement on the longer term one into a short term one as well. So you can actually really clearly see here this area of both support and resistance. It's like we're obtaining some support around here at 27 cents. We are currently at 28.8 cents as of recording. So we're on a bit of a downward trend and we might come back to test this level. But what's really interesting, certainly today, and again, it's not finished today, of course, so we have to see what kind of layout we'll have in this candle. But it's kind of almost pushed back, and that's where we can see on the histogram down here that the selling volume is trickling off. The MACD here is still quite wide, so I do anticipate that we might come back here and test again. The reason this has sort of really happened, I mean, what you've got to really anticipate is this big nice jump up here. Of course, we have historic data to say we have potentially tested some of these lower regions, but because of the shoot up we had and then this nice not, I wouldn't call it volatility, I would say it's testing of new support lines and the ability that people are really interested in this project. There's some good volumes going in each day, of course. But you might have to anticipate that because this was such a large increase to this top point here. I don't know what happened that day in particular, but it absolutely shot up to 61 cents. So you can see there's plenty left in the tank. One thing I haven't drawn in, apologies for not doing this before, but we will just literally quickly draw in a horizontal line on the previous all-time high, which was around about 70 cents. So guys, if we can do that in this run coming up, we're sitting pretty near the 30 cent mark, but I do think we need to confirm. It looks like we're trying to confirm that this is a new support line at 27 cents before we start confirming the 30 odd cent mark into that sort of channel of 35 and then upwards. Because once we get to these areas again, it's about breaking through and shooting up. Could we get past that dollar? I mean, we'll have to do a bit more analysis on this, but the fib retracement is suggesting, based on the data of this year and last year's information, over $2. I mean, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? To see that kind of return. So definitely take a look. I know there's a number of exchanges. This one is available on Binance. I get my EWT specifically on KuCoin. So you can have a look around on CoinMarketCap to see what other exchanges there are, but those are the two that I use for each of these respectively. What else can we tell here? The RSI is a very good point in my opinion. I'm not fully confident right now to say that we're moving upwards. So I do anticipate a potential test back down here to 27. Let's keep an eye on that. I'm going to draw a nice area in here. I haven't accumulated more power tokens recently, so I actually might put a buy order in around this area, sort of just on either side of the 26 cent mark. Can we come lower? Yeah, that is a potential possibility, but I think this is encouraging so far, and we should see some really good movement again towards the end of October into November for sure. And I do think in December especially, this is going to be one of the altcoins that powers through, excuse the pun, including EWT. These are very undervalued in my opinion still, both of these, considering what the energy sector is worth and what we are trying to achieve as a world in terms of climate, in terms of CO2 emission reductions and the integration of blockchain and tokenomics within this area. Power in itself is 10% down on the week. Monthly it's 10% down as well. We have had a few fluctuations, of course, with Bitcoin and things like this. But on the 3 months and the year to dates, we're very positive still. The 6 months still entails that kind of big drop we had in most markets. So it's an interesting one for the future for me personally. I'm not going to really be trading it massively this year, if not at all. I'm just going to start accumulating bags for a couple of years' time. Not necessarily just for the run potentially in 24-25 years. In the 2024/25 year run, but more so about what the project is about. And that's the same for EWT as well, but I will probably be trading that because of just the possibilities, the gain opportunities. I was buying a lot of them back at $4. I haven't sold any off yet personally. I've just been buying some dips because I do think that this is going to have some substantial returns in this year from its current existing point. So guys, let us know if you found this informative, whether you're holding either of these tokens and what you think about the energy sector in regards to tokenomics and blockchain in general. And we hope you found it informative. We will see you and these guys on the moon. Goodbye.